www.gundam.tk presents V2 Assault Buster Gundam. Hello everyone and welcome to my review of the high-grade 1/100 V2 Assault Buster Gundam. As I said, these are high-grade 1/100ths and they are from 1994 and each of them sells for 1,800 yen, so you could call that $18 US. And what's cool about this is I'm going to put both of these kits together, and you take the assault weapons and the buster weapons pack and slap them on the V2 Gundam and make the most loaded Gundam of all time. If you buy either the V2 Buster or the V2 Assault Gundam, what you can do is use the first plates A to G and you can build a regular V2 Gundam. And that's what I've done with the leftover parts, and you can check out that review. But what was a little cooler for me was taking the Assault and the Buster Gundam and combining them into the V2 Assault Buster Gundam. So let's take a look at this and see how it stacks up. When you look through the instruction manuals for both Gundams, they're going to tell you how to build the weapons packs for both of them. So what I did is I used the Assault Gundam as the base, and the Buster Gundam has a lot more add-ons. So all I did was I slapped on the extra pieces onto the V2 Assault. Instead of beginning this review with a look at the parts, I'm just going to show you the completed Gundam, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this Gundam is a brick that is filled with loose and cheap filling parts that want to fall off at a moment's notice. So when you put this together, I think I am never going to transform it, and I'm never going to do anything else with it. So just as a warning, if you are trying to build a posable Gundam and make some interesting poses with it, this is not the Gundam for you. Basically, just slap on all the weapons and just have it sit there and look loaded for bear. A look at the Assault Gundam pack. This is the main feature of the V2 Assault Gundam, and my biggest complaint about this is that this piece here is prominently red in the anime and all over the box. Well, they were too cheap and the sprues were all white, so you're going to have to paint that up yourself. So maybe buy a can of spray paint, if it's worth just getting that one piece right. The V2 actual funnel, the tail engines detach from the core fighter and they attach on separate here, and you also get a different bottom set with the Assault pack compared to the regular V2 Gundam. Now the coloring on the actual long weapon here is just 2 stickers, and like any good sticker, it's going to peel off over time. Now the other seal, if you check out my review of the V2 Assault Gundam, this is all stickers, but they've stayed on fairly well. My big complaint has always been about the V Gundams, and you can see that it's a little bit back heavy, is that to put this on you have to actually wrench the arm around backwards and put the elbow forward so that it can attach on properly. So that's a real weak point of all of the V2 Gundams. This weapon comes with the V2 Assault Gundam, and you can slap it on and it actually looks alright. This white part extends and you can put it back into the weapon, and if you look here, it actually hangs off the side of the arm. So the hand is in the trigger, but the weapon hangs off a little bit to the side loosely. Now the Buster V2 has a different waist skirt from the regular V2, and one complaint about that is that that should be blue, but instead of doing the multicolored parts, they didn't bother, so it's all white. Added some lining to try to make up for it. This long piece comes from the Assault, and you slide it out back, because with this one, from the Buster, you're going to get extra leg packs, which in the anime, Uso Ebbing drops off and they turn into bombs. But again, those should be half blue, so you're going to have to paint those to get them looking sharp. In the back, something else that the Buster adds is just a second butt plate, so again, that should be a different little bit of color. Now the legs themselves, because of the skirt up here, are very limited in their movement. They can't really move forward anyway, and they can spread about that far and not much further, but the feet don't want to bend down to hold it into place. So really the only pose that you're able to pull off with this is depending on how wide you want to spread the legs. But my absolute biggest complaint is that with the waist armor on here, if you move the legs, the waist armor wants to fall off. And when you do that, a whole bunch of other pieces. So this side piece will fall off, the back rear skirt armor, this side sword will want to fall off. So really, you're left with the impression that if you move this at all, it's just going to have a bunch of little pieces fall off. I've mentioned how this Gundam is a little bit back heavy, and one of the effects of that is that where the core fighter attaches onto the chest is that it pops up sometimes. So that'll pop up as the weight of the weapons packs on the back drag it down. But one thing I still liked about the Assault V2 still stands. All of the gold works really well. And these are gold stickers, but these are actually gold painted parts that come like that, so you don't have to do any painting of the gold itself. And the yellow and gold, I didn't think they would work together, but they do. Size comparison time. 15-meter V2 Gundam and a 15-meter Crossbone Gundam. Because it's master grade, it's bigger. Bandai, when you make a master grade, please make the V2 a little bit bigger. And really, I never get tired of putting 1/100 models next to the new Gundam, because the new Gundam, simply put, is a beast that will tower over every master grade you'll ever own, except maybe the Sasabi. Now, side by side with the regular V2 Gundam, the V2 Gundam is actually very slick, relatively posable for a 1994 model, but this Gundam is just loaded, and there's really no other way to put it. So if you're going for the impression of just bulk and weaponry, I highly recommend that you buy this 2-pack and build them up like this. Some final thoughts. You've already heard that the bulk of this model is one of its big pluses, so that even though it's very small and it's not tall enough compared to the other models, the fact that it has so much weaponry on it sort of balances that out. However, the posability is a huge knock against this. You're literally only going to get one pose, and even in that, if you knock it and it's back heavy so it falls back, the extra pieces that stick on the legs, etc. will just fall off. So, if you're going to spend $18 on 2 models, you can build this, well, incredibly weaponized version, but actually I'm a little bit happier with just the regular V2 Gundam. So if I had the choice, I would recommend buying this, but for the one that I'm actually going to keep out on display, it's probably going to be the regular V2. And here's a plug for the anime V Gundam. Outside of Zeta Gundam from the Universal Century, even though there's a lot of plot holes in it and a lot of things that they could have done better, it's still one of my favorite Gundams. So, if you want, please stay tuned, and I have some anime cells that you can check out at www.gundam.tk. Don't forget, I now have 2 many Gundam reviews up, and you can check them all out on YouTube at www.gundam.tk.